Hey, good Saturday morning, folks. Hopefully, everybody had a good Friday. Took yesterday off, obviously, with the market being closed and it being Good Friday. It's strange to say, like, have a good Friday, right? I mean, the day Jesus was crucified certainly wasn't a good day for him, but I guess it would be a good day for Christians, Catholics, and actually for anybody on the face of this planet, if you're so inclined. Wanted to knock out a video today, actually, obviously, in before Easter, the holiest day, second holiest day, tied for first of Jesus' resurrection. Wanted to talk about a personal issue, because getting lost in this whole, and remember, folks, people that are freaking out right now about, hey, there's less people dying. Freaking yay! The president pats himself on the back every day about everything, but more importantly about, 2.1 million people would have died. Yes, if we did nothing. And then if we didn't try and mitigate as much as we could, 240, quarter of a million Americans would have died. And projections and models, folks, are only as good as the data that you put into it. We were using China data, liars, and Italy, and they were underreporting deaths too, not on purpose, just think, an entire nursing home dies. Okay, 24 people dead. No autopsies. Go bury them or go put them in storage. They weren't tested. So, and now that we're using our own hard data, we can get some much better projections. So, let me. I want to share this with you, and I've kept this, within my family for a reason. We're, kind of personal, but for everybody celebrating, that there are less deaths, which is great. There are other people who are dying because of COVID, not related to COVID. On December 19th, my mom was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer, non-smokers lung cancer. Go figure. Stage 3, very bad, awful. They went in to take a look at it and said, holy crap, this is worse than expected. We can't operate. So they actually stopped an operation and said, you got to do chemo and you have to do immunotherapy. Brutal. Awful. My brother, my sisters, all on the phone. Very, very tough. My mom's been through a lot in her life. She's a battle-hardened Irish Catholic woman who I love. I just, loss of her daughter, loss of her husband. Very tough woman. So here's my mom, middle of December, getting diagnosed with cancer. And then as we get into, getting chemo and immunotherapy, where's she doing it? New York freaking City, the COVID hotspot of America, right? So my mom, whose immunosystem is completely destroyed, is in a COVID hotspot trying to get cancer treatment. So we actually got some good news last week. The chemo, or the initial round 3, up to round 3, worked. Got some great news. Up to round 3, it's smaller and we can go in and operate. Fantastic. Thank you, God. Our luck changed, apparently. Well, Thursday, we heard from the doctors in New York that her surgery was declined. We're trying to appeal, but it was declined. Ain't no time to deal with anybody other than COVID. So for everybody celebrating, there are people like my mom out there who are being denied care. Cancer. She's dying. And she's not going to get her surgery. It's non-essential. I don't know. I don't understand. So between Good Friday and Easter, when he rises, I'm sitting here contemplating the celebration while my mom kind of gets put to the back of the bus. So be very careful. Saving less death is fantastic. But guess what, man? There are a lot of people in this country who are suffering from a lot of other things other than just this COVID-19. So my mom, she goes through it with a smile on her face. Again, I haven't shared any of this with any of you, clearly, because there's stuff you keep personal. But I wanted you to know this because it's bad. yay, no or less people dying from this COVID thing, but boo for my mom, man. It's brutal. So I'd appreciate some prayers from my mom. For those of you that know her, I mean, she's going through this with a smile on her face. But come on, I'm just hoping my sister and my father are doing their best to provide some mutual support from high cover. So anyway, so I wanted to share that with folks. So lost in a celebration of less people dying are other people who are in a lot of trouble because of what's going on with COVID. So, in other news, in other stuff, the president still completely continues to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. I mean, the Wall Street Journal the other day, I've been saying this for weeks, that the president needs to stop these 90-minute, 2-hour marathons. It's all about him. He appointed Pence to be in charge of this thing and then completely buffaloed him out of the way. Right? I said this weeks ago. I watched the one video. I called it Strategic Trump, Tactical Pence. Mr. President, grab your binoculars, get on the bridge of this aircraft carrier, look down range, and sail. Be Ronald Reagan. Let the vice president be tactical. The bad news, the beginning of the briefings are stupid. The president rattling off how many cotton balls have been sent somewhere is dumb. I said this weeks ago. This week, a couple days ago, the Wall Street Journal, thank you Wall Street Journal for watching these videos, said the exact same thing. Stop with the 90 minutes, be the cheerleader, and split, and let Pence take care of this stuff. What did the president do? This is the Wall Street Journal. This is the paper of record for conservatives. What did the president do? It's not going to shock you. Completely ripped them to shreds. Took to Twitter, shocker. Wall Street Journal, fake news. They fail to mention that my ratings, here we go again with the effing ratings. My ratings are better than The Bachelor and Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football? We're going to be lucky to have a football season, Mr. President. And again, you're talking about ratings. And you called the Wall Street Journal fake news. Grow up. It's not about you, Mr. President. I saw this article today, in the past, I think it was week. Took credit 116 times. You should be thanking me. I saw this clip about how many times that guy's saying, hey, come on, man. Make it very, very hard to be a Trump supporter. It's bad. It's bad. Again with the ratings, The Bachelor, and now he's adding his ratings beat Monday Night Football. Come on, man. Don't wrestle with a pig. The pig just has fun and you get dirty. He does it every day with these reporters. Now, somebody got to him because apparently he's doing the initial opening, which still is a shit show and still a food fight with reporters, and then he turns it over to Pence. Come on, man. You're better than this. Or not. I don't know at this point. But it's demeaning. Leaders accept responsibility and praise others. Come on. Okay? And remember, folks, we're, yay New York, yay my mom. God, she's in the worst demographic right now of having cancer, going through immunotherapy and chemo, and not being able to have the life-saving surgery, and she's in fucking New York. Okay? So yay New York that you're going to get through this. We all are. But folks, I just looked. Yeah, South Florida, man. We're not going to peak for a month. There are other states that are like a month behind. I told you New York was weeks behind Italy. Well, we're like weeks behind New York. So we got it wrong at the beginning, folks. I told you. I did my Paul Revere. Close it there. January 22nd, told you the president was lying to the TV. I believe Xi, my good friend. I believe the numbers out of China completely contained here in America. Nobody contains better than me. Believe me. That was a lie. And I warned you. But it's too late for that. Now we have got to get back to work. We have got to get this country operating. And we have got to get rid of the moral hazard that happened for Thursday. I've never seen anything like this. The day the music died, Thursday morning, 1 minute after the over 6 million jobless claims, weekly jobless claims, capitalism died. I'm going to write a song, The Day Capitalism Died. The Federal Reserve jumped in and just more or less said, like the Pope coming out and saying, hell doesn't exist. The Fed in 2008, I predicted, man. I was in the Board of Trade. I was in the SIBO during the financial crisis. I saw the VIX above 90. I was there. I was at ground zero during the last financial crisis. I was there at 9/11 when I lost my airline job. At that time, I said, let it burn. Let crappy airlines go out of business. From the ashes will rise better ones. Somebody who should know about the good of Chapter 11 is our President, Donald Trump. Things need to be able to fail. People need to be able to fail, and so do businesses. Otherwise, we get why we're in this situation right now. The Federal Reserve jumping in Thursday, more or less, to say, that's it, we're saving capitalism. We're buying junk bonds, we're buying mortgages, we're buying ETFs. The next thing they're going to do, probably in the phase 4 round of stimulus, is they're going to get authorized to buy stocks. So everybody gets a trophy. There is no failure, but there is. I'm already here. I got restaurant buddies. Denied. What? I filled the application? No, and you can't call anybody. Your application for emergency bailout was denied. This thing's going to get uglier, man. This thing is going to get very, very ugly. Unfortunately, and we created it. I warned against it. Not everybody gets a trophy, man. Some businesses have to fail. And the businesses that shouldn't fail but are going to be allowed to fail while other businesses are getting propped up is going to create, this is one of those things I want to be wrong about. The moral hazard and the potential have versus have-nots right now. When billionaire hedge fund managers are getting bailed out and your restaurant's going out of business and we got waiters and waitresses that haven't seen money in weeks, man, I got my pitchforks and my torches ready in the garage because I'm pissed. I am pissed that we're doing this to this country. The Fed, and the Treasury screwed up. They needed a web page with 2 fields on it. What was your W-2 income last year? By the way, we know it, and if you lie, you go to prison. What was your W-2 income for last year, and what's your average year to date? Click submit. Oh, and by the way, before you click submit, if you're lying about this, you go to federal prison for 10 years. Click enter. We know your direct deposit account, and it'll be in there in an hour. This is a shit show, folks. Guys who have established relationships with banks for 10, 20, 15 years are getting denied loans. This is going to get worse, folks. And having a commander-in-chief who just sits there and deflects blame and says, not only I have zero blame, I take no responsibility for anything going on, you should be thanking me for the things that I have done. We're in for some rough waters, folks. I get, less deaths is fantastic. I'm praying for my mom every day. It's the last thing in the world I need. We're all going to die sometime, but dying because you couldn't get care, because of a virus that was released by our mortal enemy, who Trump still continues to kiss their ass. When are you going to get on stage, Mr. President, and say the $1.3 trillion in debt that you own, China, is gone? 1.3 trillion, G. You're my good buddy. I still respect you. It's gone. And here's an invoice for another $4 trillion to get our country back on our feet. It's a disgrace. Somebody tell me why he hasn't done that. A trade deal? There ain't no trade deal, folks. That's over with. I told you there was never going to be a trade deal anyway. Whatever China signed, they weren't going to live up to anyway. I briefed you last January about an admiral at a conference in Asia, a Chinese admiral. He's like, what are you talking about trade deal? We can give a shit about a trade deal. This is about us. We're becoming the strategic power, and trade schmade. We don't care about trade. We'll sign whatever the hell you want. Shared that with you, and I've called this all along, ladies and gentlemen. So be prepared. Hopefully on this Easter weekend you take time to celebrate about what's right and good and everything about you, your family, and this country. But batten down the hatches, man. Be prepared. As a Hornet pilot and an options trader, I plan for the best. Plan for the worst and expect the best. And when the worst doesn't happen, I'm pleasantly surprised, okay? So again, I wanted to share that with my mom. Do me a favor, throw some, it can't hurt, right? Thoughts and prayers. And I'd appreciate it. Have a great Easter Sunday, and God bless us, and God bless the United States of America. I'll see you soon.